And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at the Fittest, which is a game about a reality show, and you were trying, essentially this is Survivor, the card game. Now, I always thought that the idea of a reality show is a good one to use because reality shows themselves are a game, except people get entirely too angry when someone betrays them in it because of, well, there's people involved. So, hey, let's distill that to a card game and try it out. This is from the Rabbit line from Dice Hate Me Games. It's a small little card game, 54 card deck for 4 to 6 players. Let's check it out. The first thing is, in this game, you pick who you're going to be, and so you can be here the scholar or the surfer or the bouncer. And when you pick one of these people, you're going to have 6 different stats in strength and survival, plotting, creativity, speed, and privilege. And you'll notice if you look at each of the cards, like you'll see 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, and then on the same one, 12, 10, 8, 8, 7, 5, 3. So you always have one skill that's your main skill, like this guy here, the danger, he's good at speed, or the dancer, I'm sorry, he's good at speed. The schemer here is good at plotting. Well, duh. So each player is going to take one of these cards and place it in front of themselves. One player is going to be given the totem to go first, players are going to have a handful of cards, and the game begins. Now the player with the totem is going to turn a card over from the top of the deck. So let me show you a couple cards here. These cards here are challenge cards. So when you turn it over, it's a challenge card. Now cards are going to be used for multiple things. If they're in your hand, they're different. But when they're flipped in front of you, this means, for example, here, that to defeat this challenge, I need 30 knowledge. To defeat this challenge, I need 25 speed, 25 plotting, and 25 strength. Maybe some challenges are simpler, like for example this one here only needs a 10 privilege. Now challenges are going to give a certain number of rewards. This is going to give 1 reward, this is going to give 5 rewards, and this is going to give 4 rewards. That means at the end of the challenge, if you successfully do it, you'll draw that many cards face up from the deck and hand those cards out to different people. They will keep those cards in the end of the game. Those cards will be worth the points that are shown here. You also get a bonus of 2 points at the end of the game. If a card matches, you get 2 points bonus if a card matches your highest skill if you've gotten that card. So let's say I turn this card over here, and it's going to give 5, and I need 25, 25, and 25. At that point, players can start making the player who turned the card over, it's their challenge to do. There's no way you're going to be able to get those stats yourself, usually, although in the case here of this one, you can see that you can do that yourself. I could have done it on my own. Someone with another skill might have done it also. But you can ask other players to help you, and you have to give them part of the reward. So I might say, hey, help me, I'll give you one of the cards. I'll give you one of the cards that happens to be a strength card. You can make all sorts of deals, and the fun is in the kind of deals that you can make. Deals are binding, though you can't lie, so if you make a deal with someone, you can. Players can also be playing different cards. For example, this card here itself, if someone plays it from the hand, they're now the leader. So that means they now are the person who's doing the challenge rather than someone else. There's actually several cards like these. Or you can pick someone else to be the leader. Or the goals of this challenge or trial are changed to the skills of your choice. You can play these cards to mess things up. After everyone has made deals, it's now time to beat the challenge. Now players can play cards from their hand if they match the skills that are needed in the challenge, and those numbers are added to everyone's total scores, which are also added from your cards. Also, the leader gets basically what's called a bonus flip, where they flip a card and add that to the challenge if it works at all for them. If the challenge is defeated, then players will get the rewards, they'll split them up, and then go to the next. The next player becomes the person who's the leader, and so on and so forth. There's also trial cards. When one of those is flipped up, instead of it being a challenge, everybody is going to participate individually with everyone gets that bonus flip, but you're going to play different cards and things trying to have the highest in whatever skill is shown here. And for example, here it's knowledge. And so this is going to go, when a deck runs out, you'll shuffle the deck and play the deck through again. The second time out, you simply count up all the point cards that you've gotten and add the bonuses. Whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. First of all, this is most definitely I'm the Boss, the card game. I'm the Boss is a classic negotiation game from Sid Saxon that came out many years ago. And as soon as I read the rules for this, I was like, that sounds like I'm the Boss. I played it and I was like, this is I'm the Boss, the card game. In fact, it's more I'm the Boss, the card game than the I'm the Boss, the card game was. And that's not a bad thing. I'm the Boss is an excellent game, and I like the idea of this one, that it works like that when negotiating with other people. But, and I feel like I'm a broken record here saying this about these rabbit games from Dice Hate Me, it just doesn't scale. With 4 players, it works fine, and I'll get back to that in a second on how it does work fine. With 5 to 6, though, it just doesn't work at all, and there's a couple reasons for that. One is that the challenges don't scale per number of players. So with 6 players, they're very easy to accomplish. Not that they're easy to accomplish because there's more players. You don't want that many people helping you anyway, but the fact is you can find someone and you will beat that challenge. You can say, oh, you have the skills we need. Well, let's do it. You have the skills we need. I only need 2 of you. There's always going to be someone who has the exact skills you need. And why would you take someone who has less skills than that to help you out when the skills that this person has match exactly for what you need? So I found that to be somewhat of a problem. It was pretty easy, and the special cards were really the only way you could stop these. And that brings me to my second problem with this, is that the special cards that are in this game are really powerful, and that's fine. I mean, it's fun to play those cards, but that I'm the Boss card, think of it this way. I'm the boss that moves around the table. And, ooh, I'm going to be the boss next turn. And then Joe across the table plays I'm going to take the card now. I'm going to be the leader. So I'm like, all right, fine. So it comes all right back to me. Ooh, it's me, my turn next turn. Then someone else takes it. And if you never get to be in charge and people don't invite you to be involved, you can literally sit for several turns and have nothing to do. Now, the game does have the good rule that everybody who's not part of the challenge gets to draw a card. And that's fine, and you can build up your cards to do special things, but it is quite possible that you'll play the game without getting a card that says I'm the leader, and the people who get those cards that say I'm the leader will play them and take the leadership, and so you could sit there, especially in a 6-player game, and never be the leader, which, again, I think is not so fun. So, again, it just doesn't scale well to 5 or 6 players. The game also ends way too quickly. You go through that deck, boom, boom, like that. With 4 players, though, I think that the game is much better. You have 3 players, everyone's competing, and you'll sit there and make these deals, and someone says, if you don't make the deal, I'm going to play this card, and whatever, and it works back and forth, and it works a lot better that way. I think that this game could have been expanded to be a bigger box with more cards and work well to spread to 5 to 6 players, but again, Dice Hate Me games artificially constrained themselves with that 54-card deck thing, but if you want to play the game with 4 players, then I would recommend it. Check it out. I think the theme is great. The survival theme, the reality show, that works well. The cards, the quality is good. It's easy to figure out how to play. I like the fact that cards are used for different things. It's very interesting. It just, 5 or 6, it just falls apart. Dice Tower Judgment, approved for 4 players only.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.
There.